Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's look at some stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Millay. Good morning, Chloe.
Good morning.
Let's start with Vodafone, which returned to growth in Germany. So that's quite a significant move from Vodafone.
Yeah, absolutely. So return to growth in Germany, which is its biggest market, and that is after bringing on a 1&1 as a new wholesale customer. It also targets now the upper end of its guidance for the full year. And so both of those things have boosted the shares and really confirms that the ongoing turnaround for Vodafone is paying off. So the focus over the last couple of years for the company has been really on simplifying operations and selling off some assets. So it divested businesses in Italy and Spain over the last few years and also merged with Three here in the UK. So now after those divestments and this merger, the focus has really been on trying to revive growth in Germany, and it's quite a difficult market. There's a lot of price competition there. There's also a new regulatory change that is stopping housing associations from bundling TV packages with rent, which meant that Vodafone lost quite a lot of customers that were on contracts like that. But Vodafone has said that now the impact of that law change has mostly passed, and the migration of 1&1 customers onto its network is really starting to feed through into earnings, and it helps kind of mitigate all of those challenges. So quite a positive morning for Vodafone.
Yeah, I'm still fascinated by the difference between mobile phone bills between Europe and the US, because there's a lot of competition in Europe. It means it keeps the bills down, and also there's sort of more regulation and separation of the contract from the actual like mobile phone set. Apparently that also really helps with competition. But I think, it's a very interesting distinction if you ever want to get a mobile phone in the US versus the UK.
I didn't know that, because I pay £10 for my current one.
Well,
now,
in the US, I hear it's more like $200
a
month, $150 to $200. That's the kind of an average in the US. Yeah, I'm always interested in that story. Anyway, let's talk about Hensoldt, shall we? An update there, the maker of sensor systems and radar electronics.
Yeah, so it told investors at its Capital Markets Day that it targets 10% revenue growth for next year, and that is a figure that actually disappointed investors quite a lot. They expected more. They said that the guidance was very much in line with expectations, even though they had expected a bit of an upgrade, and that there was really a lack of a stronger outlook beyond 2030. So that puts in spotlight as well the valuation for this defense company, which many now consider a little bit too stretched, a little bit too demanding maybe. The key thing is that we know is that there will be a boost in the short term for earnings for Hensoldt. We know that there's contracts coming through, especially in Germany, where the investment in defense is obviously particularly significant. But for investors now, they need to see growth beyond that and beyond the next few years if that insane rise in the stock price is to be justified.
Okay, so that on Hensoldt. Let's also think about Croda. Why are you watching that company and also the broader chemical sector?
Yeah, we had a new note from Jefferies analysts on the chemical sector, and they upgraded and downgraded a bunch of stocks, and the analysts have said that looking for 2026 earnings support within that sector was like searching for mirage in the desert. So that is obviously not a good news for that sector as a whole. In particular, within that, it downgraded Croda as well as Evonik and Clariant because those face the biggest challenges within the sector. Upgraded other names like Yara and Givaudan and Lanxess as well, but across the board, analysts really did say that it was really tough to pinpoint anything that can buck the negative earnings momentum in that chemicals industry. It's quite obviously a tough sector because they depend so much on the health of their end market. So if there's a slowdown in consumer demand, that slows down demand for consumer chemicals, and then same thing with the slowdown in industrial activity. So it doesn't seem that they're out of the woods just yet, that sector.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.